will see this and join in. So that I can see what's going on. Again, this is live on the Unheralded Entrepreneur Podcast. We are located in Youngstown, Ohio. We are usually taking interviews either online like this or on site. I can come to you as long as you are not further than Warren, Ohio. I can come out to you. And then we can get your interview out of the way. Just trying to invite my co-host, and our interviewee to see if we can. Hey, who's watching? Recall if you on. Oh, there you go. I'm a. Hey, Recall. All
Hello.
right. Hey, there she is. All
How
right.
is everyone?
Hey, Keisha.
Hey, Keisha.
All right, I'm gonna fix. Can you see me all the way? Cause I could. Your screen is on the bottom and my screen is on the top, so it looked like my head is cut off. Can you
No,
see
I
me?
can see you from like the top of your shirt, like
Okay.
the top of your design of your shirt. Yeah, you
All
good.
right.
You good.
All right. So
How
what?
you been? Did you get your shirt?
I did not get to my mom's to get
Okay.
going over there to get it, but thank you very much for my shirt.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, so I'm gonna do introductions. My co-host is supposed to be here. She's not here right now, so I'm gonna do all the introductions and stuff like that, and then we'll just hop right into your interview, okay?
Okay.
All right. So this is Live on UE. This is a podcast for entrepreneurs, business owners, community leaders, anything like that. Anything that you're either enriching the youth or advancing the community of Youngstown, Ohio, and surrounding cities. We do a podcast interview with you. It's about 30 minutes. Share any information you have with other upcoming or aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners. Get some tips on how to efficiently operate your business or ask questions, whatever it is you want to do. This is a platform to get.
Freezing up.
I'm sorry,
It was
you can't
freezing
hear
up.
me,
You was freezing
Recall?
up. I can hear you now.
Okay. Is everything good? I'm still breaking up?
No, you're fine now.
Okay. All right, so just introducing what we do here at Live on UE. If you want to schedule your interview, make sure you go to liveonue@gmail.com and I can get you scheduled here. So we're going to jump into Raquel's interview. Raquel, if you want to introduce yourself and the name of your company and drop any of your social media tags so people can find you.
My name is Raquel Taltoan, owner of Rockbrook Business Services. We are on Facebook at Rockbrook Business Services LLC and Instagram. I believe it is Youngstown _ Rockbrook 3. I'm not sure. I got to get that together. But we are on Instagram. If you click or type in Youngstown Rockbrook, it'll come up.
Okay.
And those are the only two that I know how to work.
All right. So you said Rockbrook Business Services LLC. So can you elaborate
Yes.
on the services that you provide?
We offer bookkeeping, small business accounting, payroll, business plan writing, oh man, administrative services if you're a client already, income tax preparation. Probably here in about another month or two, we're starting to market towards more corporate companies. So we'll be looking into the larger companies here. We will have a CPA on staff as well as a QuickBooks Pro advisor here in the next couple of months. So that's something we're looking forward to over there at Rockbrook and coming back to the east side.
Okay. All right. How long has Rockbook Business Services been established? How long have you guys been in business?
I started it in January of 2011 in my home. I moved it out of my home into the Oak Hill Collaborative in March, I believe, of 2015. That's when we became incorporated. And then in 2016, we moved to downtown Youngstown, and we've been going strong ever since, just growing. And I thank God for that. So
Okay, good.
since 2011,
That's wonderful. What keys
yes.
or what advice would you give somebody who is at home right now doing something similar like business services? First, let me back up. Let me ask you, how was it managing your clients and business with you having a home-based business at the time, especially with dealing with business and confidential information and confidential records and stuff like that? How did you manage that?
It was a little difficult. At first, I had some clients who didn't mind coming to my house, and then I had some clients who was like, "No, I'm not coming over there." So, it was just, you have to satisfy the customer. So it was just like, okay, well, where would you feel comfortable? And then you move on from there. So you just kind of work at their request when you have situations like that. And then at nowadays, I didn't have this at that time, but we have like Zoom and stuff like that. So you don't even have to, like, they can sit at home and so can you. So it's a little bit more easier nowadays. But back then, you just did what was comfortable. I did what was comfortable for the client.
So do you feel like being that you were home based, did that stifle some business for you? Because I know you said some people were opposed to coming to your home to get services. So do you feel like now that we've advanced to Zoom and things like that, it opens up more business for you so you don't have to turn
It
people
does
away?
open up more business. To go back to the first part of your question, it didn't really stifle business because I just did what I went and did. Went where they wanted me to be. I made sure they were comfortable, and because of that, they told their friends. They still, talk. They'll, she works out of her house, but she'll meet you here if you don't feel comfortable going there. So then people started to, say, oh, well, can you meet me here? And it actually brought more business. So it was just all a part. It's all a satisfying the customer in the story.
Okay.
And that's, if they wanted to go somewhere, go where they want to go.
All right. So you got to meet the people where they are, basically, is what you're saying,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Across the board.
So
Yeah.
how long were you in the house? How long were you doing it from home? You said you started in 2011 and you moved out, did you say
hmm
2015?
hmm
Okay.
I
So,
was in there for about I was actually just doing taxes, income tax preparation. So it wasn't like I was doing this full time all year long. I was just doing taxes January through April, and I did it for 4 years. And then in that fifth year, I had a friend who was in the collaborative already, and we were there working on a nonprofit, United Returning Citizens. And I was like, well, while I'm here, I'm gonna just work on my company.
right.
And I had a conversation with the executive director of the Oak Hill Collaborative, Mr. Pat Kerrigan. Big ups to you, Pat. Um, to see if I could start to work on, my own thing inside of there. And he said yes. And it was just history from there. We came from out the house, and he gave us a little space in the back, and it worked. Got a lot of connections, a lot of people walked in the door, and that's how business grew. Pat know a lot of people.
Okay. So I was going to ask you that. Do you feel like starting out instead of getting your own business, do you think it's better to, instead of getting your own building, do you think it's better to go somewhere that houses other businesses like the Oak Hill Collaborative? Do you think that's a better first step before you step out and getting your own building, or how would you say that?
It depends on the type of business and the type of money you have coming in. Um, Getting overhead, what they consider overhead, which is rent and other expenses. If that's not necessary for you, then I would not do it, because it's kind of like taking care of two houses, and it could be difficult, and you don't want to get evicted from either one of your houses. So
Right.
if if sitting at home and doing a business is feasible and it saves you money, then so be it. But if you have the opportunity, like I chose to stay at the collaborative because of the networking that was coming in there and the connections, and it was growing. So I was able to afford to pay the little bit that he was charging me and maintain my home. But if you cannot do both, don't do both. And I never suggest that anyone just jump right into a building. Like, take your time, get you a little space. If you could find, even just go to the library, or I know the YBI downtown Youngstown Business Incubator, they have office space that you can rent. It doesn't cost that much. I believe there is some office space where I am in 20 West Federal. I don't pay more than $300 a month. If you're looking to maybe do something like that, that is, and if it's feasible for you, I would suggest that. But I never ever suggest, oh, I start a business, I need a building.
Mm-hmm.
No, that is cost that you not even made money yet. So
Right.
make some money and then make some decisions.
Okay. All right, you actually gave me a segue into a couple of different areas. So I'm going to go still in the vein of talking about your businesses, but I want to jump right into, I seen an announcement on Facebook that you have purchased a new building. Can we jump into that? Can you share?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I personally haven't purchased it. Rockbrook has purchased it.
Okay.
So we will be moving from downtown Youngstown to there. The plan is to start off with our tax season in January 2021. Planning to have a grand opening sometime in December. I haven't figured it out yet. But that is the plan. So it'll be like a small accounting firm, and then there's a little kitchen in there. I'm still not sure what I want to do with it. And it does need a little bit of work. It's not my area of expertise. So I know I have, my sister has a catering company and a few of my friends has a catering company. So maybe we could all sit down, have some conversations and see, what is what, and we can have like maybe a small cafe, tax place. I also want to use the space for other agencies or people such as yourself in a community who don't have a space to hold various events or different um, programs. They can come there. It could be set up as a classroom type after the tax season. So I just want to use it for a number of things to help benefit the community,
Okay. And where is
the
that
east side
location?
specifically. It is inside the McGuffey Plaza, the only building standing. The address is 775 North Garland Avenue. I have had conversation with the owner, and we are talking about bringing some other things, but that's gonna come. But there is gonna be some things coming, and we're looking to do something this fall before the weather gets bad, to kind of bring back the old feeling of being at the plaza again.
Okay.
So
Good.
it's a
Good.
surprise, but something good is coming real soon.
That's good. That's good. So what would you, because there's, I always got to have both sides. Nobody's dropping any questions right now. If you guys are live with us and you have some questions for Ricole, please drop them so we can get them answered during her interview. But I was going to say, I'm going to play devil's advocate here a little bit about the location. So being that everybody who grew up on the east side knows how the McGuffey Center was, everything that was there, the plaza, the bowling, we remember the
Right,
the
right,
live
right.
action there and in the McGuffey Plaza. If you're not from if you're not from the east side and you ride past the east side, some people might ask you,
You'd
well,
be like,
Nicole, what made
what are
you?
you doing? Right, right, right. I have a vision for my city, my specific side of town. And that was it. So purchasing Tiny's was kind of just the beginning. You can't talk too much in this city. You got to kind of be quiet around here. So I got to be quiet for now, but we will see that in use in some time from now. Something's gonna come back.
Okay.
Exactly what it is, I'm not sure. It depends on a couple of other factors, but I am in conversation with the owner, and he is down for moving forward to bring that area to life again.
Okay.
He's with it. He's with,
Good.
as they would say, he's with the shits.
Good.
So he with it.
All right.
He with it.
So,
And I want to give Terrell Vidal a shout out for that connection. So
oh
good looking out, Terrell.
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Terrell. And
He made that connection.
as y'all heard,
So
she could use some collaboration here. She's cleaning. She's looking for different ways to use the space. So, how can people get in touch with you?
I am specifically looking for Clinton Triplet. Clinton, get with me. I seen him a couple weeks ago, and I think he gave me his number, but I didn't save his name. So Clinton, I need you. I need you.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. That's what this is for. That's what this platform is for. Okay, so as far as you moving everything over to the east side and moving into your office and stuff like that, with the clientele aspect, because we're gonna take a break from the location and talk about the actual experience in your business services and the everyday operations of your office. So from your opinion, what do you feel like? Do you feel like the Black business owners that come into you and come to you for services and stuff like that, do you feel like they have a grasp on being able to operate a successful business, or do you think there's a lot of areas for opportunity to educate more before people start filling out LLCs and starting up businesses and stuff like that? What is your first of all, how many African American people do you get coming in using your, not how many, you don't have to give me an exact number, but percentage wise, um how many do you see, and then how do you feel they're prepared for opening up a business?
About 75%, about 3/4 of my clients are of African descent or another minority. I would say minority. So about 75% are minority, and I would say the other 25 are of Caucasian descent. A lot of across cultures, I see, and because I just got to say it how it is. I don't sugarcoat nothing.
We are
But I
live, raw
see
and
in
uncut.
our culture, yes, our culture, we get an idea and we move on it real quick with the LLC. Past the piece of paper, they have no idea of what they're doing next. And that's kind of not how you should operate. You should have a process and a clear path on what you want to do, and then go and get your LLC, because you can still perform a job or sell a product or license. You don't have to be incorporated with the state. The LLC just incorporates you with the state. Get the process and then get the paper. A lot of people get the paper, and then once they get the LLC, it's just like, oh, I got an LLC. So what are you doing now?
Right.
Nothing, because they didn't think past the name of the business or how they thought they were going to operate it, the day-to-day of the operations. They didn't think about that. They don't think about you need additional funding to run a business. You can't just quit your job and start a business that's not making you any money, because how you going to pay your bills over here?
Right.
So take that stuff into consideration when starting a business. And I will tell people, like, quit telling everybody everything you about to do, because you know where you live and you know what kind of people you dealing with. Shut up and just work. Then when it's done, speak. And nobody can say nothing to you. Nobody can criticize. And if they do criticize you, take it for what it is and keep it moving. If it's good criticism, take it. If it's bad, know what it is and leave them alone. And that's what I have to say about that.
Right. Thank you, Corey. I see your comment. He says, "Sweet, do your thing." Thank you, Corey Cotton, for that
Oh,
comment.
thank you, Corey. How you doing? East side.
Okay.
I words off because then I can't see.
Oh, that's okay.
So I'll keep. Okay.
I'll read them to you. I'll make sure you get them. But okay. So you were saying that. So in your opinion, you would say you said 75% are of African descent, or however you said it. I don't
Yeah. A
say
lot
so
of my
properly.
white clients, when they come, they ready. They got their money, they got their plan, they know they done went through everything, they ready. And I want to see us be the same way because we miss out on opportunities
Right.
not being prepared.
That's where I was going.
So
Yeah.
like Guy Bernie told me a long time ago, big ups to Guy. He said preparation plus opportunity equals success. If somebody came to you with something and you are ready to move forward, you will win. You will do it. You'll be able to do it and gain whatever knowledge or income or whatever it is from that. So you got to be prepared to be successful. And we are not that. And just during this pandemic, I've lost maybe 2 or 3 clients because they didn't want to pay the additional money to perform the work to do some of the paperwork that was necessary for what had happened during COVID.
Right.
And that's another area where a lot of minority businesses missed out. Like a lot of people missed out on a lot of the pandemic funds for small businesses because they didn't have the paperwork. They don't have an accounting. They don't have an accountant. They didn't see that it was necessary to pay whatever it is that was, they may charge. Accounting is not a cheap
Oh no.
area of, as all business owners know, it's expensive. But I try to make it affordable for everyone.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna charge you $1,000 a month and I know you just making 500. So I'll work with you. But until you see the need for me, what's the point?
Right.
And a lot of people don't see the need for me
Right.
at the beginning.
And do you think they don't see it because they're not educated? So this is my segment into the next thing I was saying. I hear a lot talking to businesses, business owners and stuff like that. People saying, "Oh, I don't need to go to school for this, or I don't need to go to school for this. I have the money to put up for this, or I have the money to put up for that." Do you feel like they're putting themselves as a at a disadvantage by not being educated? Maybe not, a bachelor's or a master's degree or anything like that, but just taking some accounting courses or a business management courses or something like that. Do you think that would help and give them an advantage for, doing the opposite of what you're seeing, people coming in not prepared?
I think this is what I get a lot from people. Um, they don't have the time for one. Doing it makes them frustrated. I try to offer them other solutions. Of course, I'm not going to do it for free. And then that's the piece where we kind of lose the disconnect because I'm going to charge. And they're like, well, why it gotta be so much? But it's not a lot. Like, I don't think $100 for you to have access to me for 4 hours out of a month is a lot of money if I'm helping you see where your money is.
Right.
Like, I had a guy, I use this example all the time. He owned about 11 houses, and he would every month take the rent literally and just put it in his pocket. And then, like, a couple of his tenants didn't even pay the whole amount. And in the middle of the month, he like, man, Mr. Cole, I don't even know who paid me what. Because I just took it and went to the mall and went shopping. Like, didn't deposit in a bank, so there's no trace that you made almost probably about $20,000, because he had about 11 houses times 500. That's for
Wow.
over $10,000.
Wow.
I would say over 10, and you're just getting $10,000 every month, and there's no documentation of it. And I had to not be his accountant anymore, because that's now we're going into some unlawful means. Like you have income that you're not reporting, and I could lose my licenses and accreditation, and
Right.
I'm not doing that for you. So let's cut ties, and you keep putting your money in your pocket.
I get it. I get it. So, all right. Well, with that being said, um, as far as educating yourself, and I mean, I know you gave me a scenario in a situation where people not, being educated in that realm or whatever, but how much do you think having the education or having the knowledge of how to run a business, like in a course setting, how beneficial do you think that is to somebody coming in and wanting to start a business? Do you feel the same way, or you don't need that to operate a business, or do you feel like you need some sort of education?
I think education is very beneficial. On all levels to run a business, because what's the point of being there and not knowing what you're doing?
Right.
So like what we're gonna start doing, and Siobhan Robinson, shout out to Mother Hubbard Publishing, she is working on the website, and then you'll be able to go on there and see some of the services, what we do, what I've come to do at Rockbrook, and we're going to introduce this stuff this fall, is there's a free accounting software, and we're going to train people to be able to work that software on their own, and then offer them consulting hours if they have any questions
Oh,
or problems that they can't get through. And between the two of them, I think the first one is like you could get 2 hours. It's $100 a month. If you sign like a 6-month contract, you get $25 off. So it ends up being like $400 or something like that. And you have access to me for 2 hours. You'll get trained on how to input all your information into this free software so that you can run your numbers yourself. And then if you have any questions or if some things don't match up, then you have access to me. And then I think that would help us in the minority community with the issue of not being able to afford an accountant, and also learning how to keep track of your numbers as well.
okay.
So it'll be like kind of like a crash course.
So would you mind sending me when you get that information, mind sending that information, because I do want to help communicate that and put it out there for any other
Okay.
businesses that need that. Would you
Yes.
say, okay, so here's me, I'm gonna give you a scenario, but I'm gonna use myself so I don't get nobody in trouble. So here's me, like I do everything. Like I have my mom, that's my bookkeeper, but I don't, like I'm constantly getting orders and stuff like that for different things. So I'm not talking to her as constant as I'm taking orders. So I'm using things like QuickBooks and PayPal, and I just started really use. I never really used Cash App for business, and I'm a segue back to that, using Cash App for business. But I have all of these accounting software things that I'm managing myself. So being that these classes are coming, but you're seeing a lot of people that don't have that accounting background or that accounting knowledge, can you give some real quick, maybe 2 or 3 tips on how to keep track of like your receipts or your orders or anything like that? Because once you go to an accounting, you'll have to have all of that stuff. So can you give like one or two quick tips on how to keep track of your receipts and everything?
What I generally advise to my clients is to, one, get you a business bank account. Two, get you a personal bank account. Three, separate the two. first of all.
Okay.
And I say that because even though you have an LLC, which legally protects you personally from your business, when you start to intermingle funds, that's what they will say is that's the term. When you start to intermingle funds, and if there is a lawsuit against your business because your personal funds are intermingled in your business account, you have opened up yourself personally to the lawsuit as well. So now your house, your car, and anything that is personally attached to your social can now be used in that lawsuit. So now you included that. So I would first say that separate your income. Second, um, try to use your debit card for all your purchases. And that way it's on that statement. You don't have to look for it. You don't have all these different receipts and pieces of paper. Because if you come to me with all those receipts, I'm going to charge you to add them up. But and any cash payments that you have, get you a receipt book and use that. And that way, when you come to an accountant, you have just books, and we love that.
Right.
Because we don't like receipts. We do because it look like dollar signs to us, but then people don't want to pay for that because they don't see that it's necessary. But I'm not going to add up 2 boxes of receipts for 5 hours for free.
Right.
No.
Right.
So, do most of your transactions with your debit card, and any cash payments you make, use a receipt book to record those.
Okay, so y'all, free game. I don't know if y'all caught that, but the first thing was to keep your finances separate. Separate your business finances from your personal finances. And number two was use your debit card as often as possible. And
Yes.
get a receipt book for any cash that you accept. So that was free game.
Yes.
Y'all heard her say people saying she charging too much, so that was free game. That was free game.
Any accountant charge you for that, you can't be mad because you stuffed all those receipts in there. You be mad at yourself. I'm telling you what to do.
All right, thank you for that, Ricole. So, all right, let me swing back around to Cash App because I had a lot of people asking me, Danielle, you got to accept Cash App. Everybody got Cash App, Cash App. For me, for a long time, I didn't do Cash App because it didn't have that accounting reporting back end to it. I mean, I know you can send people little emojis and stuff to say that you got their money and stuff like that, but it wasn't charging sales tax, which I have to pay as a business owner, and I have a vendor's license and I charge sales tax, so I have to pay that back. So it wasn't doing that for me. So that's why I didn't like to use it a lot of times. I don't take deposits or partial payments or anything like that. So it was kind of hard to separate that using Cash App when, when people weren't, ready to pay me the whole thing for something that I'm a Cash App you 20 here, Cash App you 30. It became really difficult for me to keep up with, you know what I'm saying, when they were making those Cash App deposits. So what is your spiel on businesses using Cash App for payment?
Again, I suggest you link your business account to your Cash App. I have mine personally linked. A lot of people say they have a lot of Cash App people fraud or something. I've never experienced it. And then that way, those Cash App transactions, they come out on your statement.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just look at your statement and say, it'll be, if it's not business, you have linked 2 cards. Again, your personal and your business. And if it's just something that you buying, you take it out of your personal account. If it's something for the business, you take it out of the business account, and then it's already there on your bank statement when you go to reconcile at the end of the month.
Okay.
So it's not a whole bunch of going back and forth. But I never suggest not taking it, because any form of payment that you refuse, you lose that whole demographic of people who use that. So you don't ever want to deny a person of paying something, because they probably okay, she don't want my money.
Right.
I ain't never gonna go to her again.
Right.
And then they're gonna be like, she wouldn't even take Cash App. So now you got 2 or 3 people talking about you not taking Cash App. So I would never not deny any form of payment. If anything, you want to go and sign up for that form of payment so that you can accept it.
Right.
And have it all linked to a business account, and that way it's all trackable and you don't have to keep going through line by line on that Cash App.
Right. And I will say, just to put myself in the category of anybody out there that was like me, that was very hesitant, just listen to the words that Raquel just said, because I lost a couple of customers because I didn't have Cash App, and that was the only thing that they had. But I did find out that you can, because remember she said keeping your finances separate, business from personal. You can have, I don't know if you would suggest this for Cole, this is just me throwing it out there, but you can have two separate cash apps. And I have one personal cash app, that's my Love D Nicole, that's for my personal use. And then I have one for my business, which is Pay Exec Edge. So those, I have those separate, so you can get more than one Cash App account. I know people were saying that they thought you could only get one, but you can get two. You just have to use two different ways of checking it in. So you can either have to use a cell phone number for one, or an email address for the other one, or two different email addresses. So that you can have two.
Okay, well, she taught me something because I just linked the 2 separate accounts to the one.
Yeah, you can't have two. But that was
So,
my reason. My biggest reason for not wanting to use Cash App is because that I know I needed that accounting piece, that reporting piece, and those statements and stuff like that. And I just didn't see that, from the just looking, you know, from your phone. I didn't see where all of that stuff was
yeah,
going back to. But once I
just link it to your business account and you'll see where, because it says Cash App
okay.
on your statement. And then it's very easy to pull out.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right, so I think we got about 6 here. We got started a little bit late, so I'm gonna give 6 more minutes to you. If anybody is watching, if you have any, I seen everybody coming up, but we was in the middle of conversations and stuff. So if you have any questions, while we have 6 more minutes, please make sure you are dropping them so we can see them. If you have any encouragement statements or anything like that for Ricole, please drop those. I'm sure as a business owner, I know we can use the positive words, we can use the positive
Right?
reinforcement.
The vibes, positive
Right,
vibes.
right, right. So hopefully, we can get together again, Ricole, in person, so I can get you some stuff, because I know you've been wanting to try some
Gosh.
lemonades and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
or I could just come
With the
visit
kettle
you.
one.
Yeah, I can come visit you, but I got some questions for you. Cause I ain't gonna say
Okay.
it on live. I ain't gonna say it on live, but you gonna beat me up when I call you and tell you the stuff I gotta tell you. But
Hey, it's cool. It's cool. I do want to say before we go, I saw I don't know if he's still here, but I saw Keetwan was here.
yes,
I want to say hello to Keetwan. I have spoke to him and asked him. I haven't really got back to him on it, but we are going to do I guess it would be kind of like an online book club with the book. The first book will be who who ate my cheese or who stole my cheese by Napoleon, and then the second one is Rich Dad Poor Dad, and we'll do that sometime in October. We still have to sit down and again speak and arrange that, but that is coming. And then what Rockbrook has coming, I believe we'll probably roll it out in mid-September, is we're going to start working with businesses specifically to help them build their business credit so that you don't have to use a social security number. You can strictly get credit based off of your EIN. So that is coming January or September of 2020. I'm looking forward to that. And it's probably a 6 to 9 month process where you can start to have access to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of
Oh,
dollars
that's wonderful.
to help fund and move your business forward. So that is coming real soon. So get ready, people, and look at it as an investment in self or business, and not as, oh, that is cost so much, but it's an investment in yourself. And the cost is $29.97, but we are going to discount it for City of Youngstown residents and Rockbrook clients down to $19.97. So I'm giving y'all the price up front. And I don't think $2,000 is a lot of money if in 9 months you can go and get 50 to a $500,000
Right.
worth of um, credit or whatever it is that you may need to help grow your business. So check that out. That's coming soon.
Okay. Make sure you email me all these dates and all this information so I can put it up and share it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know I'm gonna bug you if you don't. I'm gonna be like, Nicole, I need that information.
I
Nicole,
need that. That's what I need, because I'll be forgetting stuff. So I need somebody to bug me sometime. And I'm looking for like a part-time personal assistant. So probably like 15 to 20 hours a week. So if somebody out there, I need somebody who can do some data entry, type, file. I don't have time to train you. I need you to know what you're doing.
Okay, y'all heard that.
$10 an hour, 15 to 20 hours a week.
All right. All right. Before we wrap this up, can you please just one quick moment, take one quick moment to give again your points of contact, your web address, your email, how people can get in contact with you?
We are located in downtown Youngstown, 20 West Federal Street, the VXI building on the mezzanine floor, M11C. My email address is rbservices1111@gmail.com. My phone number, my work number is 330-822-8174, and our web address is www.rockbrook3.com. And I think that's everything. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram as
All
well.
right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ricole. This is the first time we've done a Facebook Live Join podcast, so you were awesome.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Likewise.
All right. Take care. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.